Shall we see how it goes? Ooh. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Let me see. No, I don't like that either. Oh, me and the gadget. This thing is the worst for lighting. Yeah, that'll have to do. 444. Me and my numbers. Maybe we'll get it a little. So glary. Always the first. How you doing? You having a good weekend? Curious to see what I have to say? Well, stick around. You might even like it. Oh, my stalker, always the first. Oh, I see two. Kind of odd how you get in here so quick, and I don't think the notices even went out, but who knows? Me and my gadgets. What a day. Well, there's three. Oh, Johnny got a little love, so there's a friendly in the house. I'm gonna try real hard to stay more regular coming out here. You guys are good people. Great deal of appreciation for all you good folks. Yes, sir. Oh, man, I'm really not liking this light, though. The screen looks kind of blurry. Oh, there's two of them. It's a good start. Oh, yeah. The day started off a little rough, for sure. My ups and downs and whatnot. And then I got to watching some movie on YouTube and having faith that everything's going to be okay. Really, really brought me at ease. You know, my interaction with the man upstairs with the snake under the apple tree. And Natural Girl, how you doing? Nice to meet you. First time seeing your tag, so I'm thinking you're new to the channel. Welcome aboard. We'll see if some of the regulars pop in and see where this conversation goes. Thought we'd talk a little bit about having faith in a higher power. You know, call him God or, yes, there you go, Natural Girl. Whatever your interpretation is of the dear Lord, you know, really doesn't matter to me. I'm very non-religious. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good at the moment. The day started off a little rough, but I'm doing much better. Thank you for asking. How you doing, Natural Girl? I see 3 and 16. Thank you for the thumbs up. For those who give the kid a little love. Good. Okay. Strange start. God bless you all. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's kind of where I wanted to go with this live. Having a good conversation about having faith in the dear Lord and good people coming in and out of your life and bad people coming in and out of your life and struggles. The struggle's real for sure. And keeping the faith is not always easy, but it's extremely important. The kids in the house, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Absolutely, in the spirit. Yeah, Johnny's a little in the spirit today. Kelly's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Happy holidays, Johnny. God bless, brother. God bless you too, Kelly. Always good to see you, my brother. Yeah, trying to keep the faith. Earlier in the day, it was a little rough, but I caught my second wind, and you know, like they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways, to be sure. And I just keep telling myself I'm going to get the break I need in time and I'll get back home safe and sound. And I just got to keep on keeping on and keep my faith strong that I'll get the help that I need when I need it. Sometimes it's right in the ninth hour. You know how it goes. How you doing, Kelly? How you doing, kid? Natural girl, how you doing? Give everybody a chance to chime in. Try to be a little more patient. Let other folks get a chance to speak their piece. How's the signal, by the way? Kind of curious. Lightening up on that coffee. Had decent night's sleep last night, and I think that cutting back on the coffee helps. 5x5. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you. Good. I'm glad. I did a little farting around with the settings to see if I could find a way to keep the interference out, and maybe it made a difference. I don't know much about working with these gadgets, so it's never easy. Everything happens for a reason, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense. Faith, absolutely. D's in the house. San Mateo County is waiting for you. Amen, brother. I wish I could get back to San Mateo County. Whew. Price in real estate in San Mateo County is outrageous, boy. Whew, man. I'll probably end up in the foothills, but I would sure love to get back to San Mateo County. 300 grand's not going to go very far. LS is in the house. Hey, Johnny, have you heard of Andrew Bustamante? He does CIA talks. Yes, I've heard of him, and I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm bad with names, but I'm good with faces, but it sounds very familiar. Aljandro. Sorry, man, I'm not good with my reading. Hello, how you doing? Hope you have a good day. Thank you. Parra, para 2. I have to spell it out, sound it out. Sorry. I hate slaughtering people's names, but thank you for that. Appreciate you. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. It's tough not being able to read too well, and reading these comments helps me to get better at my reading. Some of the big words I struggle with, just like a little kid. But it's good to see all you folks. My birthday is coming up. Well, happy birthday. I hope you have a nice day on your birthday. Birthdays have been a little tough for me the last few years. Hopefully I'll be back home for my next one, and things will get back on track. Trying to stay positive and having faith that everything's going to be okay. Reminds me of that song, Everything's Gonna Be Okay. Don't worry, I won't start singing. It's good to see all you guys this evening. Always a pleasure. My gadget, boy. Fun and games. On that last live, I saw this count go up to 39. I thought it was going to break 40, and then it went down to 36. I was like, holy shit, man, you two really don't like me. He is a super smart, down-to-earth speaker, helps with dealing with manipulators. Manipulators? Oh, he's the guy with the real long curly hair, right? I know who you're talking about. I like that guy. I like that guy a lot. I'm pretty sure that's who you're talking about. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm a people watcher. I've been a people watcher my whole life. Just part of my survival skills, trying to figure out the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to dealing with people in foster homes and whatnot, and different schools and jobs. And it helps because there's a lot of people that come on YouTube and they're full of BS and they talk a lot of smack and they're just talking straight out of the side of their neck. You could have been CIA for sure. Oh, yeah, I could have been a lot of things. I could have been a contender. Ended up a sheet metal worker and lifetime of construction because of my reading. I wanted to be a social worker. I would have been a really good social worker, helping kids. That's always been my passion. Just like here with Misfit Island, I wanted to help aged out foster children. And the gentleman you're talking about, he seems like the kind of guy that wants to make a difference. What he comes out talking about. And the kids coming up in this world are going to need all the help they can get from good people that want to help. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, he had a rough childhood. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't remember his background story right off the top of my head, but he seemed very genuine. When somebody said they used to be in the CIA, immediately I'm like, whoever this is full of shit. They learned how to be a good liar, but his honesty shines through. I like that guy. How you doing this evening, LS? You doing okay over there in Portugal? And how's your doggy doing? Is he getting healed up? And how's things with the neighbors and all the rest of it? Settling into a new country's got to be tough. But I know it's sure beautiful over there. I've never been to Portugal, but I've been to Spain, and geographically, they're not too far different. At least that's what it seems like. Man, my throat is scratchy. Oh, sorry, LS. I threw a lot of questions out there all at once for you. I got to remember the lag and be patient. I'm curious to see who pops in this evening. The weather is awesome. My dog is doing great now. Well, that's good to hear, young lady. I'm very glad. It always hurts my heart when I hear about a dog going through hard times. You guys all know how much my doggies mean to me, man. And whether they're my personal dog or any dog around the planet, there's something real special when it comes to a dog. Their spirit is pure, right? It's not unadulterated or whatever they call it, right? They're not, no agenda. They just want to love you. Something special about a dog. Man, my voice is really scratchy tonight. Thanks again for hitting that button. I appreciate you guys. I see 5 or 6 people in here and I see 7 likes. A new place is hard at first, but when I go out to see the ocean and nature, it is all worth it. Amen, young lady. Yeah, you can't beat Mother Nature. It's the humans that tend to mess things up. But when it comes to Mother Nature, like the dogs and the trees and the ocean, it just is what it is. And one of the saving graces for me living here has been Mother Nature. The deer and the critters that come into the yard and the fruit trees and all of it. It's really helped me get through. And I'll miss it when I go back home. I mean, if I get a nice spot up in the foothills, I might have a little bit of Mother Nature, but nothing like this. I'd like to get back to San Mateo County, which is right on the coast. Eric's in the house. How is it going, brother? How is it going, Misfits? There you go. Did it snow more? No, I didn't get any snow today. As a matter of fact, the temperature got up over freezing and melted some of the snow. It was supposed to be real cold today. I think it was supposed to be down to 6 degrees, and it never got that cold. You know, weather in Wisconsin for the last 2 years has been real mild compared to my first year here, and I'm very grateful. My first year here, I saw 25 below and a foot of snow overnight, and I haven't seen nothing since then, and I'm very, very grateful. It's one of the reasons I can't put this property up for sale right now. I got too much I need to do, too much stuff outside, and it's just way too cold. And my health being what it is, I don't want to push it. I need to get healthy and get my immune system up, and so I'm trying to get good rest and take care of myself. 64 Flyers in the house. Hello, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good this evening. Earlier in the day was kind of rough. I go through these mood swings and physical, my body ain't feeling too good, and then it starts to feel a little better, and so it's challenging, to be sure. But like I put in the title, I'm trying to real hard to keep the faith. The dear Lord brought me to this property for a reason, and I believe in time the answer will unfold. I'll get the help that I need when I need it. The real estate agent that I met is really good people, really good people, and that helped restore my faith and what I'm going through up here. Stand tall, brother. You will be fine. Thank you for those words of encouragement. I appreciate you, and thank you guys for smashing that button. Yeah. I'm my own worst enemy most of the time. Get lost in my thoughts, and then I try to break that and get out of my head. It's just tough because I don't have a lot of distractions. And when my energy's low, it's tough for me to get busy physically and occupy myself and distract myself. So a lot of these crazy thoughts going through my head. But I don't know, man. I just got to thinking about faith, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I was like, you know what? I got to plug in and share. And how important it is for all of us to keep the faith. Everybody has struggles. And you got to lean on the ones you love, friends and family, and your dogs and your pets when you're going through those hard times, because they will pass. The sun will come up tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. It's important. And doing a kind act for a stranger, what I'm always preaching, makes you feel good. Like I've said many times, it's food for the soul. Just doing something nice for someone else really makes you feel good. And if it don't, then you're not my kind of people. And there's a lot of those out there. This channel's real small for a reason. The people that pop in here, you guys get life the way I do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to my BS. I have no doubt. And, whether it's an algorithm or it's the people that run YouTube or whatever, like I said, my last live, I watched the thumbs up go to 39, and right now it's at 36. Where'd those other 3 thumbs up go? I watched the view count click up and click back down, click up and click back down. It's so bizarre. It really is. And it used to get me real fussy, but I'm so used to it now, I don't take it personal. But I would like these videos to get a little circulation and be words of encouragement for other folks going through hard times, kids struggling in this world we live in. And, a little friendly advice can go a long way when somebody's having a hard time. God, creator, is light. There you go. Absolutely, kid. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, yeah. I look forward to going home, meeting my maker. I really am. I'm in no hurry. There's plenty I want to do here before it's time to go, but it doesn't scare me. And because things have been so tough, that leaving, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds good to me. And like I said, I've watched a lot of near death experience videos, and a lot of those people are full of shit. But the ones that you can tell how genuine they are and how excited they are, and their honesty shines through, and you can't deny it. And their stories are so incredibly good. It really gives me faith that when it's time to go home, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Life challenges as we get older is really hard, and money burns through real fast. Yes, ma'am, LS, there's no doubt about it. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, the planet right now is in a sad state of affairs. It really is. And it seems to be getting worse. You know, this stuff that's been going viral about this guy who in New York City got taken out, the healthcare provider, whatever, CEO, and all that. Why that is so hyped up right now, you know, and the fact that, you know, medical insurance is through the roof and people are suffering financially. And it's just kind of odd to me when it comes to the gadget and what it pushes down your throat. Right there with all the talk about drones and UFOs right now. It's just strange. It really is. And unfortunately, I get a lot of time on my hands, so I'll scroll through YouTube looking for some new stuff to watch or what's the latest and the greatest. And I absorb a lot of material. It's how I educate myself because I don't read books. Obviously, I'm not going to go on some website and read a bunch of stuff, but watching other people tell their stories, and it's very informative. And I have a tendency to see patterns in people's behavior, patterns in the way YouTube pushes information, whether it's an algorithm or whatever. The CIA, I mean, you know, there's a lot of folks that believe the CIA was the one that invented the internet, you know. Prescription meds here in Portugal is real cheap. It's unreal. The US and Canada are insanely high. Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of things about Europe are more affordable than here in the States. I know when I was in Spain, there was some kind of strike going on, and they were bitching. And I think their work week's only 35 hours, and ours was 40. And they take siesta in the middle of the day for 2 hours from noon to 2 o'clock. And I noticed right away how the lifestyle in Spain was much more chill, much slower pace. And I was like, man, I could live here. That was back when I was still drinking, and me and Tattoo Dave would sit at these little cafes in these big plazas and drink sangria and just, oh, it was so beautiful. It's the only real vacation I've ever been on, but at least I got to experience it once. I'd love to go back someday, but at this point, I'll just be glad if I can make it back to California. Get back to a doctor I can trust. I don't care how much medication costs, as long as I get my hands on what I need. I need to get on an antibiotic. crashed a motorcycle at 80, no helmet, lived in 88 better days ahead. His ex is short. What? What are you talking about there, kid? Crashed a motorcycle at 80, no helmet, lived in 88 better days ahead. Trying to decipher that, kid. I know it's kind of tough because it's just a couple of sentences, but thanks for the comment, homeboy. And crashing at 80 with no helmet, somebody was watching out, because that's not something that you usually survive from. Why did you go to Spain? I was on vacation. My tattoo artist knew somebody who was a tattoo artist in Spain, so we went to visit him, and it was pretty cool. SATA, Satin's rules is short. Kid, you stumping me here, homie. SAT, Satin's rule is short. Okay. Once again, I'm not sure what you're getting at. Remember me? Yeah, from last night, I believe. ELADIE, LD, Miller. Painter Dude 1, fire up the hog leg. Yeah, I wish, homie. Being in Wisconsin ain't gonna happen. Okay, yep. Karina's in the house. Hey, Johnny, good to see you, young lady. Hope all is well with you and yours. Everybody getting through the holidays in one piece. Christmas coming up on all that nonsense. As they say, what, a pagan holiday? Did you always have a good memory? Yeah, for the most part, my memory's pretty strong. I'm bad at remembering names, somebody's name, things like that, but in regards to life experiences, I got quite the Rolodex. Things from my childhood, just periods in my life, something sparks a memory and it's very vivid. So yeah, I guess I've always had a good memory. A good long-term memory, not a good short-term memory, like remembering your homework and spelling and mathematics and that kind of stuff. Short-term memory, not so good. Long-term memory, very good. How you doing? I'm doing okay, young lady. Been a little rough, but like I put in the title, having faith that everything's going to work out, trying to stay positive and upbeat, but you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, just like all of us. Everybody has their good and bad days. Unfortunately, I've had quite a few bad days recently, but life will turn around for me one day. I have no doubt. Well, sometimes I have a little doubt, but keeping the faith. Keeping the faith. 13 and 10. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. I'm trying to be better at drinking more water, less coffee, cutting back on the chewing and the cigarettes, hanging out with the toothpick instead. Man, took a shower and my skin's dry and itchy. I should have put a little lotion on. So is everybody ready for Christmas? You get all your shopping done? My dreams are sweets. Oh, my demons are sweets. Oh, yeah. I used to be pretty bad with the sweets and the cookies and the ice cream and whatnot. And then when I got started going down the carnivore diet thing. I've been real strict, cutting all the sugars out. I get heavy real easy, and I can tell I feel better when I don't eat a lot of sugar. But usually, what I do is when I go into town and I do a little shopping, I'll buy a little pack of donuts, and that's only maybe once every 2 weeks or something. And I'll cheat a little bit here and there. But there was a time where I was eating junk food every day, but it's been a long time since I caved into my sweet tooth. But I know what you mean when it comes to the demons with the sweets. Oh, yeah. Used to do a fair amount of medicating with food. There's no doubt about it. There you go. Karina saying hi to Eric. Oh, oh. Oh, I gotta get glasses. Real scripts, not these little grocery store cheaters, man. I need to see an eye doctor and have them dial me in. My eyes wouldn't get so tired. Not easy getting old. Never thought I'd see 60. I didn't even think I'd get to 50. When I was a young man, I never thought I'd see 50. The kid. CRP crypto future is looking good. Check it out. I'll have to check into it, homie. And I see a bunch of titles for videos because I still follow financial channels and some stacking channels. But I don't know anything about cryptos. But get this. Back when Bitcoin first got started, there was a guy I used to follow, JSnip4, because he was into the silver thing. And I wanted to buy 13 brain fart. What was I just talking about? The crypto, the big one. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I wanted to buy 13 of them. They were only $50. Now it's on what, to almost 100 grand? If I, man, why can't I think of the name of it? There we go with the short-term memory. Bitcoin. Yeah, there you go, LS Bitcoin. I wanted to buy 13 Bitcoin, 13 being my number, and they were $50 a piece. But I didn't know how to do it on the gadget. I didn't know how to buy it, so I never did it. But I was going to buy 13 of them. Boy, that would have been something, especially at today's prices, because I think, right, if I'm not mistaken, isn't like $90,000 for a Bitcoin now? I didn't trust it. I mean, it's just a digital gadget thing. You know, I like metal, you know, or $100 bills. It's tangible. You can hold it. My brother did that. Bought so cheap. Nice, nice. Good for him. Well, hopefully he hung on to it long enough to make a little scratch. Because back in the day, there was no way to monitor Bitcoin. And if you made a bunch of money, you didn't have to pay capital gains because there was no way for them to track. But I think now all Bitcoin transactions can be tracked, right? So if you make a bunch of money on Bitcoin, you're going to get hit for taxes, I think. It used to be super secret, but I don't think it's so secret anymore. I see 10. We're not going to get up over 20 tonight, though. Last night went really well, but last night was the first time I was on in a week, so I think that helped. Kelly, a click under 100K. There you go. Yeah, I like metals. Yeah, you and me both, homeboy. Hi, I saw you yesterday. There you go. Adaliz. Adels Robles. Good to see you again. Always a pleasure. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, strange world we live in. Strange, strange world. I'm the one that asked for the shout out. I remember. I remember. Thank you for stopping back by. Appreciate you. Yeah, strange world. Bitcoins and AI and everything is on the gadget now. You know, when I was a kid, it was cash money. There was no gadget. There was no cell phone. There was no whatever you swipe your phone to pay for something and all that. That just trips me out. E- Economics is a game and it is super complicated to me. Yeah, yeah, I hear you, LS. I'm a cash kind of guy. I like paying for cash. I don't like swiping cards or any of that stuff. I don't even have a credit card. I have no credit card debt. I don't have a credit card, just my little bank card to do the basics with. I wish you a good day. Well, thank you for that. Adaliz, Adels. Appreciate you. You have a good day too. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, strange times. So odd to me the way the world works compared to the way it used to work. A lot of stores don't even like taking cash. Good for you, no credit cards. Yes, ma'am. No, no credit cards. XRP will support the dollar when the economy shuts shits to bed. There you go, kid. Yeah, I'm not up on the cryptos, but I'll take your word for it, homeboy. Because sounds to me like when Trump gets into office and he gets busy with the tariffs and we start a financial war with China, that things are going to heat up. And if Canada and Mexico decide to jump ship and start doing business with Canada, the United States is going to fall into some real hard times. So it's hard to tell what's going to happen when Trump gets into office. But whatever it is, we're going to know soon because he's talking about making big changes immediately. So the only good news is the US dollar still is world reserve currency, but who knows how long that's going to last. If we lose world oh man, brain farting tonight. World reserve currency status, if that happens, the United States will fall into a Great Depression. I hate to say it, but it'll be hard times. Oh man, I have to leave. Bye. Well, you have a good evening there, Robles. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. Yeah, kid, you might be right with that XRP stuff. It's hard to tell. It's real hard to tell. But the one thing for sure is big changes are coming, and they're coming soon. So time will tell. I just hope Trump's able to pull some strings and try to get some of these wars calmed down. I hate to hear about good people losing their lives because of one thing or another. And most of the people he's trying to push into office with him seem to be peacekeepers and not trying to stir the pot. So we'll see soon enough. Yeah, mighty quiet. A lot quieter tonight than it was last night. I don't think I ever saw a banner for notifications. So I don't know if my notifications went out tonight, or if they did, they didn't get the same circulation they did last night. Or then again, what is it, Saturday night? People busy doing stuff. I always look forward to seeing the regulars pop in here, and there's a few that I haven't seen in a while. Get to missing some of you guys. Mm. Uh-uh-uh. Did I miss anybody? Let me take a look, see. No, I'm up to date with the comments. I hate it when things get slow. I get uncomfortable. Just sitting here waiting. That's the one thing I don't think I can ever get used to is when there's dead air. I like the interaction, unless I really got something on the brain and I'm storytelling, but I try to stay away from storytelling. I've told a lot of hair raising stories out here. I'm not trying to do that anymore. They're all in the Wayback Machine. Much rather talk about being your brother's keeper and taking a doggy for a walk. LS. Why? Uh, Give me a little more something to go on. Oh, I see. Uh, there we go with the lag between what I say and you guys say. It can be a little tough when you're on my end. Why no storytelling? Oh, because I've told them all for the most part, and if there's a good reason for a story, I don't mind telling a story. Um, they're usually inspired, right? If there's something that pops up in conversation and I have a story that's related to the conversation, I'm quick to throw it out there. But back in the day, I'd get stuck on memory lane and I'd come out and tell a story. And some of them stories are kind of hard to listen, kind of hard to hear. I don't have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of happy ending stories, for a lack of a better way to put it. Most of them are pretty rough, but I'm still here. And I don't mind storytelling, but I need a good reason for it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Here we go with the dead air again. Shit. Mm. Mm. Polished off a whole bottle of water. Good boy. Well, things are getting kind of quiet, and if nobody has any questions or anything they want to talk about, or, you know, I'll check out, but trying to be patient and see if anybody new pops in or anything you guys want to talk about. I'm all for it. But I just hate sitting here and trying to take up dead air. Oh, patience. That's one thing I need work on is patience. Hey, what's up, OG? You looking well, brother? Shout out to you from New Zealand. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Graeme, Grammy. I think that's how you say that. Grammy? Chows. Sorry, I don't read so good, but thanks, man. I appreciate the comment. And thank you guys for crashing that button. Oh, yeah, storytelling. Got so many of them. um, so, anybody have any questions you always wanted to ask me that you never asked? You know me, man. I'm an open book. Paint Dude 1, fire up the hog leg. There's something to talk about. 420. It's so strange to me how cannabis in this country is legal and kind of half legal and not legal depending on where you live and all that. Just strange, really odd. And when it comes to alcohol and cannabis, alcohol is so much more harmful than cannabis, but yet, you know, clearly alcohol is everywhere you go, and that stuff has ruined a lot of lives. And not too many people have ruined their life behind cannabis unless they got busted selling the stuff. Oh, forgot I killed my water. Well, thanks for hitting that button. We made it all the way up to 12. LS, my brother smoked so much weed for years, and I can say that it can make people delusional. Well, I've heard for some people, if they're prone to certain psychological problems, that it can make it worse for sure. But in general, I was just basically talking about how cannabis in totality, when it comes to the world, alcohol has made much more problems than cannabis ever did. But yes, you're right. For some people, they shouldn't smoke. Is cannabis legal where you're from, brother? Yes, it's legal in California, but it's not legal here in Wisconsin. And living here, I can't smoke, so I don't. I wouldn't even know where to get it because I don't know anybody in this town that smokes. So for me, it takes the edge off. When I get wound up and real stressed out, smoking a little bit just kind of calms me down. I've never been a huge pothead. It was more of medication. I used it as a medication when I lived in California. There were times where I smoked too much, for sure. But for the most part, it was just to take the edge off the day. Definitely better than booze. There you go, LS. Yeah. But here in Wisconsin, these folks are so uptight, you can't get it. It's not legal at all. Not even medical marijuana. Nothing. Not here in Wisconsin. And I don't know about other states. I never really keep up on it. Coming from California, it's recreational, so you can do whatever you want, which is the way it should be. I mean, to be honest, you should be able to do whatever you want. If you're going to ruin your life, that should be your decision, whether you party or you don't party. I'm not a fan of the government or the state telling you what to do. I think people should be able to do what they want to do. Use your best judgment, use your willpower, be your own man, be your own woman. You don't need a babysitter. When I used weed, it makes me think I'm a great artist. Well, there you go, young lady. Cannabis makes a lot of people very creative. And once again, it kind of depends on the individual. And for me, up, stressed out, you know, angry, my anger issues, and smoking a little weed would help take the edge off of that. But the drawings were not that great, lol. Well, that, I think, comes from having talent, and that's something you're born with, right? Artistic ability, I got zero. I'm good with my hands when it comes to mechanics, but as far as drawing and painting and artistic ability, forget it. I can draw a good stick man at best. But to smoke a little weed and listen to music and drift off down memory lane in a good way is a beautiful thing. I enjoyed smoking a little bit and listening to music. I draw better now. Well, there you go, LS. Right on. Good for you. And that's very therapeutic. That's why I'm always telling Eric to get after his artwork. He's very talented. Whether he's painting or clay work or ceramics, homeboy's got that natural talent. He really does. I envy that. I wanted to do art when I was a kid. I don't have it in me. It super is, yeah. It's just something you're born with. Do you know how to fix a catalytic converter? Well, young lady, if it's clogged up, you can't fix it. You got to replace it. But if it's rattling because the pipe's broken and you need to weld it up, that I could do. I'm a good welder. But as far as what's on the inside of a catalytic converter, no, I don't think you can fix it. I think you have to replace it. So I think your exhaust will clog it up over time, and the only way to fix it is get a new one. But if where the two pipes go into the catalytic converter, one of them's broken and it has to be welded, that I could fix. And there's quite the market for people stealing those things, from what I understand, because they have platinum in them or palladium or some kind of precious metals. There's a little bit of precious metals inside of catalytic converters. Man, my lips been getting real chapped. You're right, brother. You should be able to live your life on your own terms. Amen. I totally agree. Here in New Zealand, you can't even use cannabis for medical purposes. Yeah, see, that's bullshit. Bullshit. You know, you should be able to do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting nobody. And if what you're doing is hurting yourself, and you're the only one you're hurting is yourself, that's your business, man. I've always felt that way. Nobody should tell you what to do, give you advice, give you education to make good decisions in life. You know, when I was drinking, this is the deal for me in alcohol. When I was a kid, mom was an alcoholic. There was always booze in the house. And when I got to be a teenager, the deal with mom was me and my buddies would go get some weed because mom didn't know where to get it. So we'd get her stoned and she would buy us a case of beer as long as we drank it in the house. And granted, that's bad behavior, right? You shouldn't be partying with your mom, but as you get older in life, you should be able to make your own decisions as long as you're well informed. And when it came to the booze, I got started at an early age, but I was always a weekend warrior. I always had a job. I didn't go to work hungover. I didn't drink when I had to get up and go to work the next day. Friday and Saturday night, go out and party with your buddies, go to the bar, go to the club. It wasn't until I went through a long, terrible workman's comp case. My right lung collapsed twice, my spine was fused, my body was beat up, and I had to retire early. I think I was 52 years old and I needed to be 55 to retire, but I had to get out early because my body wasn't working no more. And it was long, it was hard. And then I bought a place in the mobile home park, and there were a bunch of goofballs that lived there, and I started drinking to take the edge off. And quickly, I started drinking every day, and it turned into a nightmare and turned myself into a temporary alcoholic. And I was trying to medicate my demons with the booze, and it was really bad. I didn't know anything about having PTSD. All my anger issues got much worse. So for me, alcohol is like pouring gasoline on fire, and I learned it the hard way. But it's been 5 years since I drank. I won't drink anymore because I can't. It makes me too angry. And I can't just have one or two beers. I got to get hammered. And I know that about me. So, once you got a buzz, you lose all those inhibitions. It's real easy to keep drinking until it's too late. So for me, no booze. But for pot, you can't turn into an alcoholic with pot, a potaholic or whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't work that way, at least not for me. I've known some stoners in my day, but they eat too much and they sleep too much. They're not out there getting in fights and crashing their car for the most part. Yeah. The world's always trying to tell you what to do. It's unfortunate. Your parents are supposed to watch your back when you're a little kid, give you good direction, give you some manners, respecting your elders and all that kind of stuff. That's the job of your folks. But once you get of age to be your own man or woman, it's on you to control your behaviors, the good, the bad, the ugly, which is the way it should be. There's a lot of people in California that did a lot of time in prison for pot, and then when they legalized it, it's anyway. You know how the world works. It's a shit show. LS. I saw one guy who was so sweet after one or two beers. He was terrible. Uh, he was one or two beers. He was terrible. The worst word out of his mouth that, well, let me try to read this over. I saw one guy who was so sweet after one or two beers. He was terrible. The worst word out of his mouth, night and day. Okay. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, most people, you catch a little buzz. That was me because I was real shy as a young man. Get a little buzz. You can, your inhibitions drop and have a little fun. But the more you drink, the worse it gets. There's no doubt about that. I've seen plenty of people turn into an asshole behind booze. I think that's what you were getting at. Yeah. If I could have one wish to make the world a better place for everybody, it'd be get rid of alcohol. Oh, I see what you're saying, LS. He was a totally different person for the worse when he drank. Yeah, yeah, that was me. When I was a young man, it wasn't that way. I was pretty good, unless I got hammered and then the horns could come out. But even back then, I wasn't too bad. It wasn't until later in life when this lousy PTSD started getting worse. It's something I learned the hard way. Having a tough life as a child, and the shrinks call it complex PTSD. Clearly, it's not the same thing as going to war, a soldier. Their PTSD is different than mine. But being broken is being broken. We can all agree. And my brokenness got worse as I got older. Putty cat. When I get drunk, I am a happy drunk. I've known quite a few happy drunks, young lady. Good for you. Good for you. And I think that has a lot to do with being broken. If somebody's got a lot of demons, you start drinking, the demons come out. If you had a good life, and for the most part, you're a happy go lucky kind of person, when you get drunk, you're a happy drunk because that's what's in you. But if you got a lot of scars and broken on the inside because of a rough life, you get drunk, a lot of that stuff comes out, whether you want it to or not. And the sad truth is, most people that medicate and over medicate with alcohol is to try to quiet the demons. And unfortunately, it has the adverse effect. It makes it worse, not better. And thanks again, you guys, for hitting that button. I appreciate you. Yeah. But I still say the world would be a better place without booze. And I know there's a lot of people that would disagree with me, but, my mom was an alcoholic. I made myself an alcoholic for a little while. And personally speaking, I just think the world would be a better place without it. Country girls in the house, good to see you, young lady. Appreciate you. Sorry, I get thinking about mom and memory lane and her drinking, sitting here talking about booze. Tony's in the house. This is why I don't go to bars or hang out with drunks people because they usually come After the happy pray. Amen, Tony. I know exactly what you're saying. Country girl, what's up? Just chilling like a villain. Good to see you, young lady. Putty cat, yes. Many people that are bipolar and go through MANIA, they medicate with booze. Yeah, yeah, a lot of folks do. Country girl, good. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, you know, when it comes to medication, and my mom having nervous breakdowns and went through a lot of drama, she was on Thorazine and lithium, some really harsh psycho drugs, that they gave crazy people back in the day. And it made my mom worse, not better. And then she would drink, and it made it worse for her. You know, she didn't have somebody watching out for her the way they should have. I think what happened to mom was her mother left when she was 12, so she didn't have a stable childhood. And she lived with grandpa and her two younger siblings. And mom was the lady of the house at 12. She had to do the cooking and the cleaning. And she didn't have somebody watching out. And, she got to drinking and going to bars, and she got pregnant in high school. Put that child up for adoption, and I didn't find out about that until Ancestry clued me in. And then she got pregnant with me. No marriage, no nothing. One night stand. I don't know what happened. But the name mom gave me wasn't the name of my father. Ancestry gave me the name of my father. Mom gave me the wrong name. I don't know why. So she struggled. And putting a child up for adoption in high school, I think what mom went through was postpartum depression, not mental illness, right? And then when she got pregnant with me, she had to move out of my grandfather's house. No, excuse me. Grandpa said, if you can keep this one, that was me. So it was me and mom at grandpa's house. And then mom hooked up with my brother's dad. And grandpa said, you got to move out. So she moved in with my brother's dad. And by the time we were I was probably 4 or 5 years old, he ended up in San Quentin. And my mom had 3 boys on welfare. And when grandpa died, mom had another nervous breakdown. So, she never got the help she needed. And the help she got was all bad. And I lived through that. I got to see that. And now when I look back, I understand what happened. Living through it as a kid, I didn't understand. Going into foster homes at 5 years old, I didn't know what was going on. And I was by myself. You couldn't find a foster home to take 3 boys at one time. So my 2 brothers went to a long-term placement together. They were lucky. And the folks they had were good people. And I bounced around a lot. Most foster homes back then, and I don't know about now, but short-term placement. They didn't want to keep kids for more than 6 months because they would get attached. So for 6 months, I'd be in this foster home, and 6 months, I'd be in this foster home. And then eventually mom would slowly get her shit together, get her certificate for housing authority, get her food stamps, all that kind of stuff. And then I'd get to move back home with mom, but she was a wreck. It was a tough go as a kid. But it made me grow up really early. And it made me care about other people, right? I've always been somebody, the daddy complex, always trying to fix stuff, help people, You know, my brothers busted my chops, and so did the ex-wife back in the day, telling me they're tired of me telling them what to do. I was always trying to be the daddy. Didn't have a choice. It was the role that I was born into, you know? Shit happens. But I'm not bitter about it. You know, my stories are my stories. But later in life, I found out that it gave me complex PTSD. I get choked up out here, I cry too easy, and I get angry too easy. But when my dogs died, my anger subsided a great deal. I got to see my own behavior. Sometimes facing the truth is not easy, but it's the only way you can fix things. You know, some of you have been around quite a while. Used to see me come out here yelling and screaming all the time. I don't do that no more. I just don't have that anger in me like that no more. You know, even though I went through all the things I did here, I had to let all that go. It took my dogs dying for that to happen. But as they say, shit happens, man. But my sadness is still hard to keep in check. I get choked up out here way too easy. Holding back tears is hard for me sometimes. But I can't change none of that. What would you recommend for your mom to treat her? Meds or help some people? My mom needed emotional support. She needed somebody to tell her everything's okay. She needed a Captain Save-A-Ho. That's what I tried to do for the ex-wife. She needed help. She needed a counselor, not medication. She needed someone to talk to. That's what my mom needed. That's what most people need, is someone to talk to. Someone to tell you it's going to be okay. Most people need to get shit off their chest. My mom took secrets to the grave. I don't know why she got the wrong name for my dad. There was a lot of things mom didn't tell me, but there was a lot of shit mom told me she shouldn't have told me. I was mom's shrink plenty of times. You talk about storytelling. I've told this one quite a few times. Mom used to wake me up in the middle of the night. This is when I was still in grammar school, 6th grade, 12 years old. There's a rat in the house. Grab the hammer and look for the rat and kill it. I would appease her and look for this rat that wasn't there. And then she'd say, come talk to me. And I'd sit down at this little table and I would talk her down. She'd be all worked up over something in her head, whatever it was. And I distinctly remember mom saying to me so many times, how do you know all this stuff? I don't know. But I did. Being your mother's shrink at 12, nobody taught me that. I just knew how to do it. You know, sit there and tell mom everything's going to be okay. Used to tell her stuff like, I'm going to get a job, we're going to move out of here, we'll get a better place, I'll take care of everything. And that would make her feel better. That's why the Willie story, mom said I couldn't hurt Willie because of what he did to her, because who would take care of her? And I knew mom needed somebody to take care of her. So that kept me from hurting that man. Or him hurting me, probably, but those lessons I had learned as a child, and I remember them very vividly. That's why when I came here, I wanted a charity. Because helping people makes me feel good. I don't have to medicate with weed. Helping somebody makes me feel good. Takes away the sadness. I used to feel sad for mom. And when I could talk her down, it made me feel good. And the only thing that came in my life that really made me feel good was the dogs. So I knew starting a dog rescue was my medicine. It would make me feel good. And that got taken away from me. I'll never understand that. Keeping the faith, how God would let this happen, I don't get it. But I knew in my heart of hearts that having a dog rescue, I would have a good day every day. Knowing that these little dogs had a good life and they were playing and had all their food and warm, and I knew that would be good medicine for me because of my childhood. And these people took it away from me. They could have helped, but they immediately threw me under the bus because they wanted me out of here. Prejudice, because I was from California. The guy that stalks me left that t-shirt on my driveway. Crank calls me. He admitted to being a Nazi. My wife was half black. Baby's mama was Filipino. Nazis don't like people like me. I'm a race traitor. That's why I believe I got treated the way I did here. These people hate on me. Doesn't matter that we're both white, because to them, I'm black. When I went to jail here, the only black people in that jail were behind bars. Nobody that works in the jail is black or any other color but white. You're right, OG. Just having someone there to listen to you does make much more for a person than medication, amen, could ever do. Loving each other and caring for one another is medication in itself. Amen, brother. Amen. Small town mentality can be really bad. Yes, 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 LS. Tony, I was always introverted and didn't want to fit in and didn't care for people. The only ones were pretty females back in school who messed around with. There you go, Tony. Yeah. Went through a lot of hard times as a kid, but it made me a very charitable person. Too much so. I gave a lot of money away. Did a lot of things for other people. Taken advantage of and whatnot and used. Even the ex-wife, she was hanging out with some drug dealer and she was spun out on crank and drinking and an alcoholic. And I told her, I said, come stay with me in Grass Valley. I got an extra bedroom. You can stay in there, but you can't drink. She chose alcohol over sobriety, and therefore she never took me up on my offer. So people have always disappointed me, right down to my mom. You know, I knew she was broken, so I never held it against her. But, you know, it was ingrained in me to help her, to take care of her. And so that is part of my broken. And the only ones that were ever worthy of me taking care of was the dogs, because they needed me. They can't take care of themselves, you know. You see a dog on the street, a loose dog, they're all skinny. They don't know how to go get food. They eat whatever they can out of the trash, right? But they can't take care of themselves. I can. And that got taken from me. And it cost me a lot of money to try to do what I did here. And now I'm forced out of here, surrounded by haters, fearful for my safety. I'm not afraid of confrontation, but it's not safe for me here. You know, if I wasn't worried about something bad happening to me from one of these neighbors or the cops, I wouldn't leave. I would keep fighting to start my dog rescue. But it ain't never gonna happen here. I got no help, and there's people in this environment that want to bring me drama, and that's putting it mildly. LS, yes, dogs are much more worthy of our care. Amen, young lady. Grown-ups keep screwing up. It's their problem. Yeah, there you go. And thanks again, guys, for hitting that button. Whew. You know, it's kind of funny. I never know where these lives are going to go. Things were pretty quiet and dead, and I was ready to check out. But you guys stirred the pot. And I appreciate it, because it's good for me to get this stuff out. It's good to talk about it. You know? I never know who's going to watch one of these videos one day. And somebody's struggling with finding their purpose in the world. And if you're like me and you're honest with yourself, you'll find something to take care of, and it'll make you feel good. That's why I'm always pushing about taking a dog for a walk or doing a kind act for a stranger, because that's what makes me feel good. Most people don't get that. And I understand that. The world don't work the way I work. That's why I went through what I went through here. A lot of haters in the world. Just like my stalker. The one time I answered his crank call, and I called him a Nazi, and he says, "You're damn right." You know, to him, I'm a race traitor, because my wife was half black. You guys know what a Nazi is. A Nazi is not Donald Trump. Look up the Nazi Party in Wisconsin. Nazi rallies in Wisconsin. Punch that in on YouTube and look for yourself. I'm not full of shit. That's not Donald Trump. What I'm talking about is real Nazis. And in my immediate environment, I don't know what these people are, but I know what they did. That's why I got to leave. I wasn't going to talk about this, but kind of don't have a choice with what I just said. I had a really lousy dream last night, and it was very vivid. And it had to do with some of this stuff in this area and me. I don't like to talk about that because I don't want to breathe life into that. But somebody here tried to bring me harm. And I dreamed about it last night, as a matter of fact. So weird. Like I said, I never know where these lives are going to go. But the dream was very vivid. And most dreams, I just remember little bits and pieces. But this one sticks out very clearly. And from what I remember, I prevailed, but it was bad. It's just a dream or a nightmare, call it whatever you want. But there's always been something that always made me feel like I was going to meet a violent death, that it wouldn't be sickness. But I've been sick so long, now I'm pretty much convinced that some illness is going to take me out. But for almost my entire life, I always believed somebody was going to take me out in a violent way, even though all I've ever wanted to do was help. But, ugly people do ugly things to good people. It's just the way it works. Let me see, where did I leave off here? Here we go. How much finances is needed for you to start your dog rescue, brother? I would love nothing more than to make a substantial donation to your cause. If it means a lot to you, it means a lot to me. Man, I don't even know how to answer that. You humble me with something like that. But the reality is, it's not a money thing. Not really. It's a people thing. I'm not safe here, and if anybody came here to help me here, it wouldn't be safe for them. And so now I'm forced to move back to California. And I've been sick for quite a while. My energy's real bad. I got screwed over by the doctors in this little town, and I need to get back to California. And unfortunately, I put all my money into vehicles that I need to sell to generate revenue to get back to California to get healthy. But it's a very nice comment, man. Very nice. And I really appreciate that. I just watched a video today about this guy who hit the big lotto for $300 million dollars and how it ruined his family. And I was like, man, I'd know what to do with that. I know how many dogs I could save. It's a very, very kind offer. And I wish I could take you up on it. But the dog charity thing, I think, is a wash. Unless I can get back to California and get healthy and try to do it in California, then I'd throw a figure at you. But, as it stands right now, I got 2 trucks and a Harley that I need to sell to generate money so that I can get back to California, get healthy, come back, sell this place, and then I probably got another 300 grand in equity. Then I'll go back to California, find a little something, and save a handful of dogs by myself. At least that's how it seems now. I grew up on welfare, food stamps, and cockroaches. We never had no real money. And anything I have now is what I worked for. Beat up my body as a construction worker, paid taxes, got a little bit of pension, got a little bit of Social Security. I earned every dime I got. I earned everything I got here. Nobody ever gave me anything. But your kind comment warms my soul. Not too many people have ever offered me help like that. I appreciate you, man. I really do. I always thought maybe one day somebody with a white hat was going to come down my driveway and handle all this bullshit and get my chestnuts out of the fire. But, an honest cop in this day and age, they just don't exist. Not as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there's a handful out there somewhere, but not in this little town. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Adam's in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. Whew, I said a lot tonight, boy. Kind of funny, LS. You were saying, how come no storytelling? Like I said, I need to be inspired to be spitting that stuff out there. But I'm not bashful. And I got nothing to hide from anybody, man. My story is my story. And these videos are my journal, right? This is my book. And I hope it helps somebody one day. You know, like I said, all I ever want to do is help. Because it's the only thing that makes me feel good. You know, I've had a handful of you good folks out there that say, Johnny, you've helped me with your videos. And that means a lot to me. It really does. Once again, it's the only thing that makes me feel good. You know, I got 2 Harleys and 3 trucks and 2 houses and all this shit. I don't give a fuck about any of it. I'd give anything for a quiet life back in California right now. I'd give all this shit away. The houses and everything. Just to have a quiet life. Shit happens, man. Always enjoy this channel for your pure honesty. You've got a good soul. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. It's the only way I know how to be. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't know how to be anything else. It's like being a shrink for my mom. It's what's in me. It's always been that way. When I was a kid, I was real shy and bashful. And then my broken side came out, and so did my big mouth. Coming on YouTube was meant to be nothing more than a commercial for the dog rescue and wanting to help other people. And I was doing it unintentionally without knowing what I was doing because it makes me feel good. Now I understand that. You know, when I moved to this town and got played and was dysregulated and angry and these people were playing me, I slowly figured it out. But when all you can see is red, you can't see the forest for the trees. I didn't know what was going on. But once I figured it out, it changed everything. And learning about complex PTSD, learning about what it is to be dysregulated, learning about how your mood swings, you can't control them because you're broken. Once I realized all that stuff, it gave me the education I needed to check myself. Nobody's gonna play me ever again. I didn't know what was happening. Now I do. I'll never get played again. That's why trolls in the comment section or my stalker and his crank phone calls and the t-shirt in the driveway, none of that shit bothers me. It's just tweakers trying to get under my skin. You can't, because I see it for what it is. But I didn't when it first got started. And if I could turn back the hands of time, things would have been a lot different. I would have bought that trailer over there at auction. Those people would have never been moved into my front yard. But shit happens. Hindsight's always 20/20. Brother, I would love to help you in any way possible, but I don't want to air out your personal life here on your live, but I want to fully fund your move back to Cali today. Well, shit, homeboy, I don't even know what to say. You know, the sad truth is, I'd take you up on your offer in a heartbeat. But, you know, and don't take this the wrong way. I've been trolled quite a bit. So whether you're serious or you're just another troll, there's no way for me to know. But I'd gladly take you up on it. And you want to know who I am? John O'Halloran, Tomahawk, Wisconsin. This is a right to know state. You look up John O'Halloran in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, it'll give you all the information you need. The rest is up to you, my friend. But I'd gladly take you up on your offer. It just depends on whether you're a troll or you're a big-hearted person with a with a wad of money, but I'd take you up on your offer. Please do, brother. I just need an email so I can talk in private. I put my email out here before. I'm not doing it again. You look up John O'Halloran in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, and it'll give you my phone number. It's like a phone book. It'll give you my address, my phone number, whatever. I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm not going to just run my mouth about my email out here. I've done it before, and it's caused me grief. I've even put my phone number out here. That's why I get crank phone calls. And I appreciate what you're saying, believe me. And I would gladly take you up on it. I'm definitely in need of some help, but, you know, I've been catfished more than once. And so, if you're a big-hearted person and you really want to help and money's not an issue, you'll find me. You'll know how to find me. Like I said, you got my name, you got my town, and it's quite easy because Wisconsin is a right to know state. So all my info's right there for anybody to see. And you're right, we shouldn't be talking out here, and I agree with you. But I can't just give my email. It's caused me a lot of grief. Chills, that is so generous, but why so inspired? It's interesting. Yeah. Well, once again, LS, miracles happen every day, but it's been my experience, it's a lot easier to come across somebody catfishing than it is a big-hearted person that's actually got my back for a change. But like I said, if you're serious, reach out. I'd gladly take you up on the help. Come to Tomahawk, Wisconsin. I'm easy to find. I pray to God upstairs all the time for what you've offered. And so maybe you're legit. But it's been my experience. That shit just doesn't happen to a guy like me. And usually I'm pretty proud. I got my own money. Money's tied up into this property and these vehicles, so I'm kind of... I don't even know what to say. Oh, man. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm kind of wiped out. This emotional stuff takes a lot out of me sometimes, and it's really wiped me out. And Chills, if you're serious, please reach out. I'm not hard to find. Whether you're a troll or not, time will tell. But Lord knows I could use the help. So we shall see. So on that note, I'm going to get off the gadget. Much love and respect as always. Love the ones that love you back. Do your very best with the rest. And please, pretty please, go to your local dog shelter. Go take a dog for a walk. And watch how much that makes you feel good, right? Watch what that does for you. Hold the door open at the grocery store. help somebody change a tire. Stop at the coffee shop, grab a cup of coffee and a donut, and hand it to a homeless person and tell them that you care. Real easy things to do. Makes the biggest difference in the world. Chills, because I grew up in a similar situation as this brother, and I see myself in this brother, and more I listen to him, the more I feel I need to help him. Well, thank you for that, Chills. I appreciate you, man. I really do. And like I said, if you're serious, homeboy, reach out. I'm not hard to find. I love you guys. Have a beautiful night. And I'll try to plug in again tomorrow, and I'll try to do this every day. Been a little rough, been a little sick, but it makes me feel good to come out here and interact with you good folks. I appreciate each and every one of you very much. So, on that note, have a beautiful evening, have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Peace.